You have spent decades carrying everyone else, and that is why you are exhausted now. This is your decade to stop making money the hard way and start making money using all of your lifetime of experience, expertise, wisdom, insight, and knowledge. You don't have to acquire another degree, another certification, and another training. Right now should be your time of maximizing and leveraging everything you've known, everything you've done, everything that you've experienced and learned up until this point. Now, of course, you are a lifelong learner. Of course, you're going to be learning and growing and exploring and evolving every day of your life until you take your last breath. But it's time to stop striving and stop carrying everybody else and start centering yourself in your own life, because that is where your money is really going to come from. That is where your ease is going to come from. Making money from a place of ease and not exhaustion comes from owning your wisdom, owning your experience, owning your life's journey, and mining it for what people will pay you for. Because quiet as it's kept, you are sitting on skills right now that people are looking for and would be more than happy to pay you for, but you're not even hanging out your shingle and charging for it. It's something that you are taking for granted. It's something that you think everybody can do this, but quiet as it's kept, that's just not the truth. Hello, my love. My name is Elle. I'm also known as the Empress of Ease. I am the creator of the House of Ease, and I am the world's #1 coach for ambitious, high-achieving, but exhausted women who want sweeter, softer, more ease-filled lives. I am so happy that you are here. We have our brand new workshop coming up on December 21st, 2025, called The Money Machine, where you will learn how to mine your life for the expertise and experience, wisdom, and resources that you're already sitting on, that someone will pay you over $100 an hour for to talk to you about in either a coaching or consulting call. In this workshop, of course, I'm going to go over the differences between coaching, consulting, and mentorship, and which business model is the best for you to start making money right here and right now. Because ain't no way that you have reached the beautiful age of 40 years old without some kind of expertise. Now, it doesn't have to be the expertise that is measured by academia, by accolades, by external accomplishments. This could be something that you really know how to do. Now, it could be something as potentially obscure as maximizing coupons or how to make your eyelash extensions last the longest. It could be how to pack up 3 months worth of international travel in one carry-on suitcase. It could be anything that you know how to do that most people do not know how to do. And at 40 years old, you are sitting on something that you are taking for granted. I guarantee you, my friend, I guarantee you. Now, the secret to charging and making at least $100 an hour for your expertise and being paid to exist is being hyper niche, hyper focused, and hyper specific. So I have multiple businesses. One of my businesses is called Success Loves Projectors. If you are not familiar with human design, that may make absolutely no sense to you, but I'll give you the quick and dirty version of what that means. So human design is what I consider astrology on steroids. Inside of human design, there are 5 different energy types. One of those 5 energy types is called projectors. Projectors are only 20% of the human population, and I am a projector. Inside of human design, because we are only 20% of the population, most human design teachers are not projectors and do not talk to, for, or about projectors. And they do talk about us. It is completely misaligned and doesn't actually resonate with me. So I decided to create a very niche, very specific business only talking to human design projectors. And when I tell you, I wake up with money from my master classes in my bank account, with me not having to do anything, with coaching calls scheduled, with human design projector readings scheduled, because I did the groundwork of setting everything up behind the scenes. And I have a podcast, I have a YouTube channel, I have an email list, but I don't do any active marketing on any of those channels because I've already set them up behind the scenes, one and done. So now when people discover human design and they start looking up, oh, I'm a human design projector, who out here is specializing in human design projectors? And they find me and my brand called Success loves projectors. I'm not one of the 4 energy types guessing about what it's like to be a projector. I'm speaking from my lived experience as a human design projector, from my extensive training and my certifications and my knowledge inside of human design, and I can read a projector like nobody's business. That is what I mean by being paid to exist. Yes, it did require some legwork and learning about human design, about projectors, but then I also could mine my own life and my own experience as a coach, as a healer, as a teacher, as someone who has been living as a projector. And when I teach and talk about it to my students, to my people who take my master classes, who sign up for one-on-one readings with me, it completely blows their mind. They refer me to other projectors. You don't have to know what human design is for this to be relevant to you, because you are sitting on something at 40 years old that you have experience with, that you have expertise in, you have insight in. And I'm telling you now from the bottom of my heart, people want to hire niche specialists. I'll give you another example. I live in Bangkok. I moved here 2 months ago. And now that I'm settled in my condo, finally, I am starting to look for the next level of the things that I need. There's a gym in my condo building, and I'm starting to look for a personal trainer. Yesterday, I was on Facebook. I was in all of the expat Bangkok Facebook groups, and I was like, this is the neighborhood I live in. This is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a personal trainer who specializes in mid-age women who can help me build strength, build muscle, get lean, So I got about 4 or 5 recommendations, and I started inboxing them, giving them the rundown. Are you able to come to this area? This is what I'm looking for, a trainer to come work out with me in my condo gym 2 to 3 times a week. And people responded, yeah, positive response. And there was one woman who said, can you let me know so I can know for a good match if you're pregnant, postpartum, or perimenopausal, because those are my specialties. Now, ring the alarm, because yes, I am perimenopausal. And immediately in my mind, I said, oh, she's a specialist. She will understand my body and my experience, having gained some weight, having more cushion for the pushing at this point in my life. She will understand me and what I'm asking for and what I need better than some generalist personal trainer, because some of the people who responded were like bodybuilding, hunky men, right? Some were just generalist women trainers, which were fine. They could be great. But what I noticed in myself was like, oh, she is very hyper niche, very specific. She probably knows what I need better than these other people. If that's true or not, we have yet to see. But in my mind, I was already like, I wonder what her rate is, since she's a specialist, since she already knows the lay of the land of my changing hormones and changing body and what my goals are. I might be willing to pay her a little bit more money than a generous. Literally, this is the thought process that I went through. This is what I mean by when you are hyper niche and hyper specific, people are more than happy to pay you more money. And so we've got to mine your life for the things that you are hyper niche and hyper specific in. Maybe you know how to make food for neurodivergent children who have very specific texture or taste sensitivities, which is incredibly important, right? This doesn't have to be something that you have to go get another certification or another training for. If you are a woman over 40 years old, you have lived a lot of life experience that you can mine and resource your life for. The only challenge is you haven't valued your life experience enough to realize that it's monetizable and that it's worth charging for. On my other channel, Empress of Ease, someone had a comment, was like, oh, I would love to pick your brain about moving to Bangkok. Now, I think a lot of us, particularly Black women, are just used to being like, oh, sure, let's chat. But I don't know you. We are complete, total strangers with each other on the internet. And that is actually something that I would charge for, right? A lot of us feel uncomfortable charging for what we would consider pick my brain calls. Like, oh, I can just tell you, it's not a big deal. I can just talk to you about it. But if you want to be making money from your genius, from your expertise, from your life experience, from just being paid to exist, you've got to start getting comfortable charging. And so when the person said, oh, I would love to pick your brain about your move to Bangkok, I'm like, yeah, I'm more than happy to have that conversation with you. Here is the link to my Insight Hour calls, which is a 45-minute, essentially ask me anything call. Now, they didn't sign up for that call, But I think that's because most Black women are not used to monetizing that. But I happily pay for Ask Me Anything or Pick My Brain calls. I happily pay because I want to compensate people who put in time, money, energy, and resources to get their expertise and their insight inside of capitalism. I am happy to compensate you for that. I don't want to take it for granted that you owe me that insight, that information, that wealth of knowledge. You don't, especially if I'm a stranger on the internet. It actually feels good to me to pay you for your wisdom because I like being paid for my wisdom. So a huge part of that is yes, recognizing your skills. Yes, hanging out your shingle and monetizing it. And yes, paying other experts for their expertise because that money is currency. Money is energy, right? Abundance and prosperity is currency and energy. You've got to put it out and receive it. It comes and it goes. And so when I decided I was moving to Southeast Asia, initially I had planned to come to Bangkok for a few months and then bop around Vietnam and Southeast Asia, other countries for a few months. And then I realized before I even left the States that it was rainy season in Vietnam. And I wasn't willing to leave Seattle's rainy season to go to Vietnam's rainy season. And so I hired Sean, Queen of DC. I'll put her link in the description below because I wanted a one-on-one call with her to help me think about, ideate, brainstorm, imagine other places that I might go since I had decided not to go to Vietnam. She lives part-time in Vietnam and part-time in Malaysia and has traveled extensively throughout Southeast Asia. Now, I have traveled somewhat throughout Southeast Asia, but the places I've been looking at going, I've never been before. I was so happy to pay her $100 an hour for her experience, for her insight, her wisdom. She doesn't owe me a conversation sharing with me all of the things that she has been learning and accumulating and acquiring over the years of living and traveling in Southeast Asia, especially since she has an entire business set up for sharing that information. So part of that is you've got to get out of this mindset that your wisdom is free. Your wisdom is not free. And other people who don't know you, complete internet strangers, they are not entitled to that for you for free either. I share my wisdom for free on my YouTube channel, through my email list. I have multiple podcasts that I share my wisdom. I don't then want to get on a one-on-one call and give customized, unique, personalized perspective, guidance, and advice to someone for free because I do that for free online already. If you want customized, personalized guidance, I will charge you for it. And I want you to have that kind of audacity as well. You are a woman over 40. It's time to start monetizing your wisdom. It's time to start monetizing your insights. Time to start monetizing your genius. And again, you don't have to charge everybody for every word or every syllable that comes out of your mouth. That's not what I'm saying at all. But I'm saying once we set up what your $100 an hour coaching or consulting gig is, then it's time to start charging for that. And the thing is, I hear all the time that people don't want to be salesy. When you are sitting in your genius and talking about it and putting out your shingle, you don't actually have anything to sell. You're just inviting people, right? Like I invited you to the Money Machine workshop. I think it would change your life. It would change your bank account. It would give you a greater sense of ease when it comes to money. You are invited to that because I know how big of a deal it's going to be. And it's only half of the price of what I charge to work with people one-on-one in Money Machine calls. It's really a no-brainer, such an easy sell. So I'm not even trying to convince you. I'm saying if this is the result that you want, I have a way for you to get there. If you're burnt out, exhausted, tired of working hard, tired of overgiving, tired of doing too much, and you want money to be easier, but you don't know how to get there, my job is to take you on the boat from island A to island B and help you get there. And Money Machine is how I would help you get there right now. That's not salesy. Right? I'm just saying this is a possibility. This is an option. If you know how to do it on your own, I hope that that's working for you. And if it's not working for you, I have a shortcut to help you get there so that it will actually work for you in an easy, simple way. You can take it or leave it. Now, that should be that easy for you. So say you are a small dog specialist and you know that you really help dogs stop barking, yapping, and peeing on the carpet as they're newly adopted. Let's just say that's super niche. You are not having to convince anybody to hire you for that because they're already like so tired and stressed out that their little newly adopted dog is barking, yapping, and peeing on the carpet. They're looking for a solution. And if you're like, oh, that's old hand, I can do that with my eyes closed. I know exactly how to tell you what to do. You tell me what the symptoms are, and I'll tell you what the solution is. Why would you let a perfect stranger get that wisdom, that knowledge, and that information for free? Because they would hire you for it. At your big age, there's no need to keep carrying all of this wisdom and hoping that someone will mysteriously and magically recognize you for it. That's not how it works, my love. It's time to own your wisdom, to hang out your shingle and start making money from it right now, because there are people who are looking for it in Money Machine, the workshop. I will walk you step by step through getting paid to exist. So join us December 21st, 2025. If it's after December 21st, 2025, you can still watch the replay with the link below. But don't let your wisdom, your knowledge, your expertise, and your life experience go to waste because you refuse to recognize it and you refuse to monetize it. The keys to more money are in your hands. So let me guide you to doing it with so much ease and so much sweetness and so much softness. It can really just feel like a conversation, not labor, not pushing, not overdoing it, but ease. I look forward to seeing you there because I want you to have more money in your bank account as well. And the way that it works is that the price of the workshop is really just the price of one call. So by the time you get your first call, your first call will have paid for the workshop itself. I would love to see you. It's really very simple. And it's such like a no-brainer that it's time for you to sign up and get some money, because it's only up from here. We start out with $100 an hour, and then you can just keep charging as we get more refined on what your unique genius is. Join us there. Check out the link in the description below for the Money Machine call. And I look forward to seeing you there. In the meantime, check out this other video. I think you will thoroughly enjoy it. Bye for now.